Well, good morning, folks. Aaron Dorr here again with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. And folks, the main fight today is in the Supreme Court as we fight to save the SAPL law that we passed here in Jeff City last year. But if you're also watching the news, you're aware of another major fight happening right now in the state capitol, and that is over our congressional maps. And everyone knows what's happening right now. We're going to hear an update from Senator Bob Onder as the Senate Conservative Caucus fights to give us a better map going forward next year.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron, for your attention to this issue. Big fight across the street in the Supreme Court. But what we're fighting on the floor of the Senate today is this issue of congressional redistricting. As most of your watchers know, around the country, the Democrats are aggressively redrawing the congressional maps to elect more Nancy Pelosi.
Maybe save the majority.
Anti-gun Democrats, and save the majority.
That's their goal.
Save the majority, keep the Speaker's gavel in Nancy Pelosi's hands.
Yep.
And so you'd think here in Missouri we'd be fighting fire with fire, but you'd be wrong. Unfortunately, the Missouri House of Representatives already passed what I call the Pelosi map, a map that would give 1 to 2 extra congressional seats to the anti-gun Democrats in Congress. And unfortunately, here in the Senate leadership is pretty much on the same page.
You guys know how that works when it comes to gun bills in the Senate, and the Senate leadership team this guy has to put up with. But I think what you're saying here is that if there was ever a time for conservatives to act like conservatives, it's now, because what we do here in Missouri may make or break Pelosi's majority control in Congress next year. I think for a lot of gun owners, we assume that we're going to get that gavel back because the people are mad. But that kind of assumes that red states are doing their job and fighting for the best map we can get. And that's not happening right now here in Missouri.
Well, that's exactly right, Aaron. Here in Missouri, you see people making all sorts of excuses. They're saying, well, we're afraid Eric Holder's committee is going to sue us, or we need an emergency clause, or we need this. It's all a bunch of nonsense. What they're doing is they're giving in to their grifter consultants. A couple of congressmen who are putting their finger on the scales. And at the end of the day, what's happening is Missouri values, gun owners are not being represented in the process. So we want to fight for every last seat we can have in Congress.
Need them. We need them. This is not just about guns. It's about everything we all care about. It's what makes Missouri, what makes America, frankly, the country that it is these freedoms that Pelosi is trying to destroy. So, folks, right now you have about, the bill's coming up for debate today. It could be up on the floor as early as noon today. Not a lot of time. Call the Senate switchboard immediately and tell your senator you want them to approve the map, the conservative caucus map, and send more Republicans to D.C. to help fight for gun rights. The switchboard number is 573-751-2000. Again, 573-751-2000. Tell them you don't want the Pelosi map. You don't want the House map. You want the conservative map. We want to put Republican conservatives, especially, into D.C. because, Bob, the left is doing this in all of their states.
They sure are.
They're carving out 2 or 3 seats here, 4 or 5 seats here, and we just want to see our own people act like conservatives.
That's right. Across the river in Illinois, they are carving out 2 Republican seats. In New York, about 5 seats. But all over, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, everywhere. Nancy Pelosi and Eric Holder are fighting for every last seat. They're playing hardball, and we're playing patty cake.
It's that same old story. The left is ideological. And we can't stand their policies, but we can respect their consistency when it comes to their fighting for their worldview. They're fighting to destroy our country, take away our freedoms, and we want to see Republicans fight to protect our freedoms and protect our liberties the way you and the conservatives here in Jeff City have been doing.
Yeah, the left are circling the wagons. We're putting up the white flag of surrender. It's pathetic.
Guys, you've seen this happen before time and time again on gun bills. Now it's happening right now in the congressional map. Again, one last time, call the switchboard. The number is 573-751-2000. Tell your senator you want the 7-1 map. You want the conservative map. You want to send more conservatives to Washington, D.C. to make sure that whatever happens, Nancy Pelosi is not in charge of the House next year, guys. That's all we have time for right now. Thanks, Bob, for leading this fight so hard.
Thanks, Aaron, for the coverage. Appreciate it.
You guys, make your phone calls happen right away. And more updates on the SAPL fight in the Supreme Court coming up very soon. Take care.